as the vaccines for COVID-19 continue to evolve and get better. And in fact, according to Dr. Fowchee, you're going to have some ready for distribution to the highest risk groups here in the United States in December. The question is, who's going to pay for this, right? Are these going to be covered by insurance? Pfizer said they're going to offer them for free to the United States. I seriously doubt that's going to happen. How much is this going to cost? What's going to be the copay? Is this going to send people into bankruptcy? Are we going to have large portions of the population who cannot pay for the vaccine? Here's the sad, sick little story of what's happening right now. You've already paid for the vaccine. I've already paid for the vaccine. The people who've already died from COVID have already paid for the vaccine because the companies who are producing it are doing so with federal money. And I'm not talking about Operation Warp Speed, okay? That did send billions of dollars to drug companies who are using that for research, allegedly. I'm talking about just the average everyday money that they get because they're not necessarily doing their own research. They're using the research of others. Research that's funded by the federal government and the National Institutes of Health are taxpayer-funded scientific research that the drug companies then turn into pills or vaccines. And they take those pills and vaccines and they sell them back to us. We already paid for it. We paid to create it. And then they sell it back to us. Here's an article from the Los Angeles Times explaining the Moderna vaccine, which earlier this week was announced to have almost a 95% efficiency. It says, Moderna retains worldwide rights to develop and commercialize the mRNA-1273, which is their vaccine. That's the scientific name. Without a corporate partner, Moderna will realize all the profits from their COVID-19 vaccine. They should have a unique cash position at the end of 2021. The company estimates the potential profits in the billions of dollars. That suggests that Moderna doesn't expect the U.S. government to exploit its own rights to the vaccine. That's an old story in the pharmaceutical industry, which has profited from billions of dollars in government scientific research without returning much, if anything, to the taxpayers. This mismatch is likely to become the topic of more bitterness if the drug industry hampers efforts to roll out COVID-19 cures globally. The potential damage to the fight against COVID-19 may already be visible on the horizon. So they're still planning on charging, even though we've already paid for it. And again, as the article says, not surprising. They do it all the time because the federal government doesn't do a dang thing about it. The government knows that they're the ones paying for the research. And by they, I mean us, because they are funded with our tax dollars. That's how the government works. So they take our money. They do the research. They hire these brilliant, gifted scientists to come up with these wonderful cures and treatments for diseases that destroy people's bodies. And then the drug company steps up and says, "Hey, what are you gonna do with that? Can I see that? Can you see that real quick? Oh, yeah, you cool if I print this out and we go make some of these things? All right, cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate it." And the next thing you know, you got commercials blasting on your TV 24/7 telling you that, hey, you've got lots of things wrong with you and this miracle pill is going to fix them all. And it's only $800 a pill because we're only charging you a usual 50,000% markup. No, I didn't misspeak. That's what a typical blockbuster drug, the ones you see in the commercials, that is a typical markup. Some of them do go as high as 250,000% markup. That's what they sell it back to us after we've already been paying for it. The reason they charge such large numbers to us here in the United States is so that they can recoup their advertising costs. It's not so that they can recoup R&D. It's so they can get back the money they spent making those commercials. They can't advertise in other countries. So that's why other countries like Canada, typical markup for them is about 1,000 to 1,500%. Still seems exorbitant until you look at the fact that, if it costs you a penny to make and you're charging me $5 for it, sure, that's a bargain. Whereas in the United States, it costs 1 to 2 pennies to make and you're charging us $100 for it. Wow. Not such a good bargain anymore. But the fact is, the bottom line is that we have already paid for the COVID vaccine. And these private entities, these private companies who use the research paid for by our tax dollars are going to turn around and sell it back to us. There is no universe where this is fair to the American people or to any people. And the worst part is our spineless federal government, the left and the right on this issue, will do absolutely nothing to claim their share of that and maybe get some of our tax dollars back. They won't do it. Every bit of those profits is going right back to those drug companies, and they're just going to pass on even more costs to the people who already paid for it.